So to build the body for our Nutcracker soldier, literally a couple of old buckets, some 67mm CLS or 3x2, all offcuts of Sterling board OSB, ply, and another piece of OSB. 1.5" plastic pipe. It's all regular stuff. It's all easy enough to get hold of, and that's going to be what we're going to make the body out of. So let's crack on with that. So there's our buckets, looking a little bit cleaner now. They're ready to go. So I'm using this multi-tool with a multi-material bit to scrape off these ridges. Yeah, and then once I've done that, I'll then sand it with some, just got some 120 grit on there. I'll take some 80 grit, sorry. I'll then put some 120 or 240 on and just smooth them off a bit better. But from that to that, so that's the start anyway. But hopefully you'll buy ones without any ridges on. These were just ones I had lying around just to show you. So our next task is to provide a piece of timber to use as a support for the legs. So the legs have to go in this. So we need to cut a piece of timber for inside this bottom half. So there's the cut piece of timber. As you can see in the bucket, it fits in loads of room. So what we want to do now is we want that to be centered on that. So what we'll do is take the center of this timber and then make an allowance for sitting these two legs in. We don't want them too far apart, but we don't want them too close together. So what I suggest you do before you do the hole saw is take a pilot bit and just pilot bit the hole. And the same with that side. What I would suggest you do is stick this in a vise or have it clamped down. Another way of doing it is to, before you cut all this, is to have on a long piece of timber, and so you can hold it down or clamp it down or something. Because once you start spinning with a hole saw, it's going to want to do this. So if you've got some way of holding it down, I'm going to put it in my vise and do it that way. Right, so to use your hole saw, I suggest you start it on slow revolutions. Don't put it on the double speed, put it on the low speed. And every now and again, take it out. Because it's a soft wood, what will happen is it'll catch in the teeth. And all it'll do is burn out your hole saw. So what you want to do is go in so far. And take them out, and you'll see it all catching in the teeth. You don't want to create too much heat there. So if you do, all you'll do is burn your hole saw out quicker. Let's just try. Just clear that hole out a minute. And then we'll try. I'm using one of the arms, but you get the picture. So you've got to get this into that. And it's quite a good fit. If you leave the middle in, it makes it more stable. So leave your middle in. Don't get your chisel and get them out. You don't need to. Maybe needs a little bit more off, or that maybe needs to be cut a bit square, I suppose. But after, we'll do the same on the other hole now. and then we can put the body together, put this in, and we can form the legs. So we've drilled out for the top of our 2 legs. Let's actually use the legs. So here's the legs. I need to cut them square, but your 2 legs slot over that center like that. That's going to be your legs, and effectively, if this is the bottom, that's your legs. You'll notice that I've left the rim on this bucket. I've done that on purpose. I know on a lot of the Nutcracker soldiers, the bottom part of their uniform is usually quite low. It's usually cut up somewhere up here. I'm going to leave it on here because what I'm going to do is I'll use that rim and put a fur trim around it, which will hide this, but this gives the bucket a bit more rigidity, because the minute you cut that off it gets a bit malleable and flappable. So I think the best thing, the only thing I will cut off on this bottom one, I will cut these 2 pieces of plastic off which was used for the handle. So I'll cut them off and tart that up and tidy that up a bit, but I will leave this bottom rim on just to keep it rigid. So the next thing you're going to want to do is to cut a couple of discs. You're going to need one for where you're going to have your midriff. There'll be a belt around here, and you're going to need another one for inside the top half in there. It can be the same size, it can be bigger than it, can be small. It can be smaller than it, can't be bigger than it, obviously. What'll happen is they'll fix like that, and then your legs can actually fix down through and screw. They'll actually screw through here, so you'll screw through the top of that, down through there, through the other disc that'll be on top of this one, and then your legs you'll fix into the timber for where the legs are. That'll keep your legs nice and secure, and it also then provides us with a body. So that's why I'll do it that way. So I'll crack on and I'll get a couple of discs cut out, and then we'll get on and we'll start securing this. So using the jigsaw, cut this one out of here. And that's big enough. It hasn't got to be spot on. You don't have to go mad with it. You literally just need one to go in there, one to go on top of there like that. So it'll then sit on top like that. Yeah, we'll need a hole in the center of this one as well. The reason for that is we're going to center this on this bit here, so we need the center, and we put one screw right the way up through, and that makes sure that our legs are centered. I've also drilled a hole in the center of the bucket, and the same with this one. Next, you're going to want to get a screw that will go through this, this and this, this and that. It works out about 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches. I didn't have a 3-inch, but I've got this one, so this will be sufficient. You want to just get them into this bottom leg support. So he's just poking through. There you can see him. you then get your lower part of the body and you will set that screw so the screw actually comes through the hole that you've drilled. Put down your middle patras and you want to sit it on that, just about centered. You're going to need also an extended bit, no big deal. So we want to get that one in just to take that patras and just pop through like that. So we're done. What you're going to want to do now after getting it through this patras is put the other patras into this one, get the holes lined up, and then you want to turn the patras and just get it to bite on that screw thread that you've got pushing through. Push both sides and it will bite eventually. There you go. I'm going to use a couple of 2.5 inch screws. Obviously make sure you know where about your patras is for the legs before you do this. And there it is, it's secure. You can remove this screw now. So as you can see, there's our leg support. So now it's a case of, you can push your legs in. And he's starting to take shape. Feet, which we'll do shortly, are going to be just small like this. This is not a foot, this is just to show you that it will stand up. So as you can see, it's all stood up now. We're going to make a couple of feet. Then the other beauty of this is when you come to put it away after Christmas, it'll all come to bits. So to make the feet, we've just used another piece of, I've got this 63mm CLS, and all you're going to do is draw on an approximate shape of the toes and the front of the foot, square it off at the back, or a little round it slightly if you wanted to, and then we need to drill a hole the same as this one, as we've done for the upper patras. So we're going to do now, we're going to cut this. Also, because you want them different, I suppose. Some people have them the same, but if you put them different, at least it looks like it's got a left and a right foot. So that's what I'm going to do next. So where we go? Just got to cut the back off, and like I say, all we'll do now is sand these to the shape we want, which is with our sander. So I'll just get myself a mask and we'll get sanding. Right, there we go. So there's our shoes. They still need a little bit more refining, so I'll go over them a bit more, but I'll do that off camera so that I don't waste your time. But that's effectively it. This edge has got to come down a bit more here. That's just about it really. So that's the shoes. Again, like I said, let me take this off. The legs just slot in. And that'll be the bottom for our soldier. Then we've got to make the boots. So it's all part of a boot, but all of this. Yeah, but we'll get on to the finishings later on in the videos. So what we've done so far, obviously we've got the feet, we've got the legs, we've attached them up to the body, we've made the body. We're going to progress next up onto the onto making the top and the head, and then we've got to start looking at how we're going to finish it all. Obviously we've got the arms to put on as well, but we'll go into the next video for that. But for now, there we have our at the start of our Nutcracker soldier.